Howdy folks, welcome to another new episode of Bonfire Man. Here's how Bonfire Man works. I'm locked to specific chunks in the game. I have to interact with everything in my unlocked chunks exactly once. So that means every tree needs to be chopped, every enemy needs to die, every resource needs to be consumed. When I interact with something, it is exhausted. When something is exhausted, that means I'm not allowed to interact with it again. I'm allowed to randomly unlock a new chunk whenever all of the entities in my current chunks have been so exhausted. When I enter a new chunk, I rest at a bonfire, as in the Souls games. Resting at a bonfire refreshes or unexhausts all of the content in previous chunks that I've already been to. Now I have to exhaust all entities in both the old and new chunks to continue to progress. My objective is to unlock every chunk in RuneScape. According to my estimates, I think that's going to take about 10,000 hours to complete. If you're interested in all the specifics, minutiae, minor rules, exceptions, that kind of a thing, there's a Google Doc in the description that lists all of that. Let's go ahead and get to the playthrough. All right, so we got yet another boring nightmare chunk. This is worse than I even gave it credit for. I didn't realize that there are sharks in that big net fishing spot. So even if I had a big net, I would still not be able to pass this. I don't have a high enough fishing level. Also, 95 regular trees. So I'm still cursed on bad chunk rolls, but that's okay. This can stay interesting. You know, there's still lots of stuff to do in the past chunks, lots of objectives to work toward. Okay, here we are on the chunk border. Let's go ahead and cross the fog wall. And light the bonfire. And rest. Okay. Everything has respawned. This chunk sucks. It sucks pretty bad. 2 birds, don't care. 3 imps, don't care. The maple trees are cool. Whenever I complete the chunk, I get 4 more that I can deplete. And I guess when we complete it, we'll be able to get sharks, which is potentially a big deal. So this chunk sucks right now, but if we can get our fishing up to 71, the chunk actually kind of rules, because that's potentially a lot of sharks if we have the chunk complete and I can deplete each of those. Alright y'all, it's time to go over our objectives overview for this episode. As usual, if you want to skip this, there should be a time code in the description to get right back to the playthrough. Starting off with our 100% completed chunks. No change from this one compared to last episode yet, at least. We will be able to complete a new chunk, and I'll get into that in a second. A 100% completed chunk is a chunk in which we have exhausted everything at least once in a prior cycle. Clearing chunks like this confers some benefits on future cycles. The trees in 100% completed chunks can be chopped until they turn into stumps. Fishing spots can be fished until they move. You can pickpocket each pickpocketable NPC 28 times each. Shooting stars can be mined until they deplete. Agility courses can be run repeatedly until a Mark of Grace spawns. And normally we can only buy out shop stocks once, but once we 100% complete the chunk in which the shop is contained, that shop stock refreshes every cycle. These are the same perks we've already been enjoying. We're about to clear the Soul Wars lobby chunk. That doesn't get us any new perks, but there's another benefit of 100% completed chunks in that they are optional to complete every cycle. And one thing I'm definitely going to want to skip in the Soul Wars lobby is all of the regular trees that spawn there. There are several dozen of them. So those are all of the 100% completed chunks. Let's talk about chunks that we can't 100% complete for some reason. The first reason is quest blocked chunks. No change in this one from prior episodes. We still can't complete any of these quests. The main thing blocking us from doing the quests is more chunk rolls. After that, we have skill blocked chunks. We still need 82 construction to make master stashes, 70 mining to mine for adamant ore, and it's not listed here yet, but the chunk that we just rolled is actually doubly blocked. We can't complete it because we don't have access to a big fishing net yet, but even if we did, we would need to get a much higher fishing level to be able to fish for sharks there. I'm going to be marking that as an item blocked chunk because the fishing level is not going to help us if we don't have a net to fish there. On that note, item blocked chunks, we can't complete these because we're missing an item. Like I just mentioned, big fishing net for the new chunk we just rolled, but also we need a bird snare to do the western part of the Soul Isle. And then the last category is chunk blocked chunks. We can't complete these because there's content on the edges that we can't reach without rolling adjacent chunks. In this case, the Soul Wars lobby chunk used to be chunk blocked, but we now have finally rolled all 3 of the adjacent chunks and can chop all of the trees here. As I mentioned before, that's a very minor benefit. It's going to let us skip the regular trees here in the future, but nothing else really new comes from that. And that is everything for the objective summary. Let's go ahead and get back to the episode. I have a skill book on me, though. Really want to make sure that I use that up before I get another random event. So I'm going to roll out of this chunk before completing it and do the agility courses that I have access to so I can use the skill book. And then I'll come right back here. Might also get a shooting star here soon. All right, yeah, we should be able to get this agility level just from the first lap, but obviously I'll keep going until I get the Mark of Grace. All right, here comes agility 31, which is actually a significant level. That lets us use the Drainer Manor stepping stones, which you'd think would let us finish that chunk, but we have to do Dragon Slayer 1 to finish the Champions Guild chunk, so it's just going to be a convenient thing. Let's go ahead and pop this. 465, very cool. God, I'm getting another lucky cycle here with Marks of Grace. Backwards from what you'd usually consider lucky, but yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 laps completed. I'm on my 6th lap and still no Mark of Grace spawn. Oh, this is unprecedented. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like, this is like my 7th lap? Yeah, and I still haven't. Well, this is my 8th lap, and I still haven't seen one spawn. I'm not complaining. I guess I should have just done this before I used the skill book, but what the hell? 9 laps. Man, I've had, maybe I was just really unlucky before, or lucky, depending on the way you see it, because I was getting a Mark of Grace on like the 2nd or 3rd lap for a long time there. Still no. Wow, what the hell? Dude, I'm not kidding. Like, it's not spawning, and that's great. I'm getting an enormous amount of agility XP, unparalleled by any other cycle. Okay, well, I just hit agility 32. I think I know why I'm not getting any Marks of Grace. And I probably need to solve this, because this is a problem. No. Oh, wow. Okay, this is amazing, actually. I thought it was once you were 20 levels above the course, which we are at level 30, that it was a 0% chance to get Marks of Grace, that I've just like completely fucked up here. But no, it's 5 times lower. So that's actually amazing for this account. The fact that the Mark of Grace drop rate decreases so sharply but doesn't go to 0. If it was 0, I'd have to consider like, does this mean I can't do this course anymore, but once per cycle? But if it's 5 times lower, that just means I get to do 5 times as many laps on it. And, you know, the XP on the Drainer course is horrible, but I get such little agility XP that, like, getting to this breakpoint, getting 20 levels above, is outstanding in terms of per cycle agility XP. It means I can actually run this course quite a bit. That probably explains my luck last cycle. I think I hit 30 while I was running the course, and then the drop rate change happened. But I had already done several laps at that point. Man, this is massive for the account. This fact that the Mark of Grace drop rate drops so precipitously, 20 levels above, I think it's going to make agility possible. Even with this whole you can run laps until you get the Mark of Grace, I've been worried because I've been getting like, 4-digit agility XP numbers. I'm still going to be getting 4-digit agility XP numbers, but now when I get to 40, if I've completed Shadow of the Storm, which I need to finish the Alcarid Palace chunk, I'll be able to do that course as well a bunch of times. And really for agility, like the main thing I'm concerned about is getting to the Quest Cape level, which I think is 70. Before I was thinking that might be impossible, but this is outstanding. Like, I'm still getting the same number of Marks of Grace per cycle. It's still 1 per cycle. I'm just getting enormously more agility XP now. So there's no math on number of laps, or the drop rate, I should say, for Marks of Grace, but I would say anecdotally it was like 1 in 4 before for the Drainer Village, which means if that's reduced by like 80%, it should now be like 1 in 20. So I've done more than that, just a little bit more than that. Yeah, I'm slightly over drop rate then. That means that this could still end immediately if I'm unlucky. I could roll in and get a 1 in 20 drop instantly, but if on average I'm able to do 20 laps of the course, that's a lot of XP. It's still not a lot of XP, right? I've done 21 laps now, and it's like barely over 3K, and like 450 of that is from the skill book, but still. And I'm about to get an entire additional agility level. Should hit 33 here. 33 agility. Now that agility is maybe realistic, depending on how lucky or unlucky, depending on how you think of it. I would love to get 36. 36 is more energy restore. But now I have to look at the level up table, because I've basically been ignoring the level up table. Like, I'm not going to get any of these, but I might actually now. The north end of Alcarid Mine would be pretty convenient. That's at 38, close to doubling our current all-time XP. Okay, it finally spawned. It is real. So that was 30 laps. Well, going to be 31 laps once we finish this one. Yeah, this is a massive upgrade for the account. That's perfect. Like it's a wonderful way to reward me and give me more exciting breakpoints. So the next exciting breakpoint then would be 40, because then if we're able to get lucky enough to roll the necessary chunks for Shadow of the Storm, the Alcarid course becomes way more lucrative in terms of agility XP. So this is still like 4K XP. It's still not very much, but it feels more possible now. And who the hell is doing Draenor Village? Who the hell is doing 40 laps of Draenor Village rooftop? No one ever comes back to this because of this. Here's a nice thing I didn't really consider is I can technically mark the Soul Wars lobby as a completed chunk now, which I think does fuck all for me. I could skip 101 trees, yeah, because I'll finally be able to chop all the trees to the south, east, and the west. I can get up there, yeah. This is not accessible, this middle chunk. I probably should just go ahead and mark it. It might be accessible up on the top. It's just part of the instance. There's no tree in either of these corners. It's not accessible. Okay, I was like, I hope that chunk doesn't have trees in it that I can get to, but it looks like it does not. So whether or not that's rollable, it doesn't matter. I will be able to mark Isle of Souls done. Okay, the new chunk is done. Killed both birds, all 3 imps. Got all the dead trees and the 95 regular trees. That did actually take a minute. And the 4 maple trees. And I can't do the mackerels or the sharks, so this will be an uncompletable chunk for some time. I guess while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and work on finishing the Soul Wars lobby chunk now that I can. Okay, so I can finally say that I've chopped all the trees in the Soul Wars lobby. I can't mark the chunk complete yet because I have to actually go get this zeal. I need to see... I need to know what the actual tree count is. It's not 101. It's not 48 anymore because I can get the ones on the right. All right, I did the math based on arrow shafts. It's 76. That'll be our final count. All right, I'm going to gear up and kill the Moss Giants, and then we're going to do Soul Wars. There's a Soul Wars game starting now, so I'll do that first, and then we'll do the Moss Giants to complete the chunk. All right, 52 Zeal on the first run. I'm getting better at Soul Wars. I think I know what I need to do to score now. I wish it was clearer how the score is awarded, but whatever. All right, second round didn't go so well. Definitely on the losing team this time. We'll see how many points I get, though. 36, okay. Okay, 3 Spoils of War. Again, the thing I want here is coal. I don't think I really care about anything else in these boxes. Nope. Although, 22k gold is pretty good. Admin arrows are good for when I do bossing with ranged. 158 nature runes, pretty great. Okay. Well, no coal, but other stuff that's good. Okay, just killed my 6th Moss Giant. Victory achieved. Soul Wars lobby is done. That just saves me 76 trees to chop in the future. I'm a bit all over the place here, but I'm going to go ahead and do the Elder Chaos Druid since they're a little AFK while I'm waiting for the Shooting Star round to drop. After that, I think I'm going to start working on woodcutting. Hey, look at that. I just got a Zamorak Monk Top drop. That's kind of cool. Oh, good lord. That Monk Top is a 1 in 354 drop. Wow. I don't think I'm ever going to get these Elder drops. It would be kind of cool, especially the hood. I would wear that for sure. All right, got enough cash drops to be able to buy this Team Cape. I'll be using this for a while since it's the most recent cape I got access to. All right, got a T4 Shooting Star here. Just going to accept it because I've been struggling to find one. Go get some work done. 63 mining. Okay, I ended up getting 2 hours of mining out of that. I'm going to move on to woodcutting now, I think. Okay, I'm about to hit the last relevant woodcutting level on the account, probably. Yeah. 75 woodcutting. Now cut down magic trees. Technically, there's 90 for redwoods, but I don't think I'm going to get anywhere close to redwoods via chunks for an extremely long time. So I'm going to keep going. You know, we got to get to 99 to make all trees optional. It would be a huge day for the account whenever we get there, though. Just got another lamp here. I guess. Yeah, I'm just going to throw it on agility, right? It's fine. Thank you, Genie. Adding my first ever T6 shooting star. That's quite nice. We've been level 60 for a while. Hopefully we'll be able to mine this in peace for a long time. This tier 6 star has been awesome to me. Tons of AFK, mining 64, 6 more levels until adamantite. Okay, star disintegrated. That was a lot of mining XP starting from tier 6. Someone else did show up partway through, but they didn't cause any big problems. Currently scouting the next wave. I've got one more star to mine, the one in the Soul Island. Harvesting my first ever sweet corns here. I don't think I have any use for them, but whenever I have the jute fibers to protect them, I'll try to plant them. All right, I got my last star for the cycle. Here we go. Okay, I made it the full 2 hours, even with other people on and off it. Great XP, better than I'm going to get for woodcutting. I'm almost done with woodcutting. I have some more regular trees to chop. I guess while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and work on mining here. I finally finished woodcutting for the cycle. I'm going to try out these stepping stones. So I think the rule, as always, is I can do these back and forth once just for the XP, but other than that, I just need to justify it. Like, only use it when I'm actually crossing. It's only like 4 XP, which is no longer a relevant amount of XP like it used to be from levels 1 through 10. Woodcutting and mining are done. It's time to do PVM, which means it's time to start with KQ. The first KQ chunk was horrible. It took me 5.5 hours. The second one was also horrible. It took me 4.5 hours. I'm hoping I've learned enough that I'm just going to be able to do this on the first try, but there's still a really good chance that I'm just going to go in there and get insta-wrecked and stacked out. Well, it didn't happen on the first run. I got stacked out. I guess the thing I need to pray for isn't so much that I get it on the first attempt, but that I get it the first time that I trapped KQ, because sometimes I'm just going to get screwed and there's basically nothing I can do about it. Well, I just had a power flicker, so I guess it's a good thing that I died there and didn't die while I was sitting on top of the boss and had my group iron logged in the room. I'll be back once power comes back. Well, power is back, but I lost internet because of the power flicker. All right, I got the pole this time. I lost some of my ground markers. I think it was just confusion for me making some of the markers on my group iron account. So let me replace those here. Okay, I got my group iron in position. I've got everything placed back. I think we're ready to try this. All right, I'm close. Just gonna record now. Ooh, I repoisoned. That's so nice. I just let the poison do it here. It's so stressful to be trying to flinch and pay attention for when I need to swap positions between the characters. I'm gonna try to hit it one more time, and then I'll wait. I feel like I need to turn on the heart rate monitor for this too, because it gets high as soon as the Calpite Queen gets low. No! Oh, I fucked it up. I don't know. I needed to wait under her for longer because the one Calpite Guardian moved back slightly. Oh, that blows. On the plus side, I think I learned something about things that can go wrong. I keep learning new things that can go wrong. The Guardians can back up a space depending on where the workers are when I run in with my group iron. So I need to be like very attentive to the group iron and make sure that I'm continually walking under KQ. All right, I'm getting close again. I'm just gonna let it record. I think I did it this time. Okay. I actually have a real life appointment in 15 minutes, so I have to do this perfect here. I literally have an appointment in 5 minutes, and I'm gonna have to leave immediately after I get the drop. I'm not gonna get to talk about it at all, so hopefully this happens soon. Okay, one more good hit, and we got it, and I can rush to my appointment. I'll try to talk about whatever I see the drop to be as soon as I see it, but I really gotta close the game almost instantly after picking it up here. Okay, got the kill. Thank God. Wine of Zamorak, okay. Not a good drop at all. Don't care. I got the kill. That's all that matters. Gotta get the hell out of here right now, though. Okay, folks, it's the day after the update. I made it to my appointment just barely. I was cutting it real close. So yeah, day 1, Calpite Queen, 5.5 hours. Cycle 2, Calpite Queen, 4.5 hours. Cycle 3, I was just able to get it in 2 hours. So I still haven't gotten to 20 minutes. That's the objective, that I just make the pull happen on the first kill. But there's a lot of little things that can go wrong that I've learned about. So I've kind of made a checklist of what to do for the future. I'm going to warp out and grab supplies. I need to kill all 4 Calphite Guardians. I might want to do some more tile markers downstairs too. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and do ranged. I think I'm going to skip the soldiers because their drop table is kind of bad. Let me just make sure that I'm not missing anything exciting from the soldiers. I guess I've got a couple things that would be not like basically all of these can be used in the Giants Foundry. They're like 1 in 128. Yeah, I guess I'll keep killing them for now. I guess the fire rune drops are pretty good until I get a rune shop. It feels like a waste because they're way more annoying to kill than the workers, and they don't have a really interesting drop table like the Guardians. About to get a hit points level. Hit points 68. These levels are real slow now. I'm up to working on the Guardians. When I finished the soldiers, I did get a mithril chain body that I've since banked. That's new to me. It's a clue item, so I don't think I can justify using it in the Giants Foundry. I did just get this mithril kite shield, which is 2 mithril bars, so that's great. Fishing level 50, working on pikes here. Swordfish. Fishing 51. Just hit thieving 51. About to hit 52 thieving. There it is. Oof, this is painful. So I over pickpocketed ham members by 1, as you can see here. Trying to click my way out. But before that, I had an easy clue, and I just got to step 3, and sadly, it's in Port Sarim. So close. Oh god, I killed the Monk of Zamorak here without having the telegrab runes on me. I'm going to try to run and grab him real quick before it despawns. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I remember to bring them every single time, and he's just only ever dropped bones. I was getting to the point that I didn't think he actually could drop it. I already got this, actually, from the Elder Chaos Druids. I would rather get the rope bottom, but still, it looks like it's still there. Got it. Okay, cool. I don't particularly need it for anything, but, you know, it's nice to have another one since it drops so rarely. It's like a 1 in 64 from that guy or something. Yeah, if you're interested, here's my all-time Monk of Zamorak kills. I've killed it 24 times. Should get a range level here in a second. Yeah, 61 ranged. Going to 64. So I feel like I should take advantage of this. It's an annoying bug, but one I haven't really been paying attention to. The step count for the step counter plugin continues to accrue even as you get new clues, right? I just got a medium clue scroll from guards, and this means that I've gotten 11 medium clue scrolls that I couldn't do, but I can actually do this first step, so let's go see what happens. You were wondering, my chance to complete a medium clue is 1 in 1,000, so I don't think this is going to happen, but hey. Oritania Mausoleum. Nope. I'm over here at Black Demons, and I just got a really exciting drop. This Black Axe is not an improvement, but it is required for a clue step that I've had to drop in the past, so it's cool to get that. You can also get it from clue caskets, but it's way easier to get from these guys. I will probably go put it in its stash after this. That took 53 total kills to finally get a Black Axe drop. Most exciting thing I've gotten from Black Demons, actually. I'm making silver bolts over here for future KQ runs and some smelting anyway, and hit 51 crafting. I don't care about crafting levels until 70, unless if we get access to green dragons or something. Decided to start getting some fletching XP. I really want to get a U short bow. I think it would help a lot. So I want to get to 65 fletching. So I've been making headless arrows while I'm walking around doing stuff. I just came here to rake this belladonna patch. But I'm talking because I'm about to get a fletching level. And in the future, if you see me get one randomly, it's because I'm walking around doing it. 59 fletching. Mithril grapples. That might actually matter. All right, folks, I got to get some AFK. I think I really want to just squeeze out 65 fletching here. I think I can just barely do it. It's going to delay completing this cycle by a bunch. But I can get some editing done. And then if I can get this U short bow, It's going to be a pretty big upgrade, so I'm going to start working on that now. Whoops, I was weighing down my space bar with my phone. 60 fletching, still working through these. Getting some editing done. All right, I'm catching it this time. Took my phone off the space bar. 61 fletching. I'm going to keep making all of these here. Can now make adamantite mahogany crossbows. I need to get access to mahogany, but that would be pretty good. All right, look at that. 65,000 headless arrows. Jesus Christ. I'm still not quite there in terms of getting within striking distance of 65 fletching, so I'm going to use a few more of my banked feathers, and I might actually have to go to Ruins of Unka, because I haven't bought my... I can buy 15,000 feathers per cycle. I might need to go ahead and buy another 15k, but we'll see how close I get just with these remaining 2,300 feathers. I can afford to burn through those because I'm going to buy more. Holy moly, I could just barely hit 65. I have to turn literally all of my 3,000 plus oak logs, 755 willow logs, and 236 maple logs into longbows. I'm going to try to set aside a few oak logs for planks. I've already bought my planks for this cycle, but I don't want to, leave myself in the dust there. Let's see what I can pull off. I just looked this up. Apparently, you can still get random events at the Giants Foundry bank chest, so I'm going to teleport there and do all of this fletching. Here comes 62 fletching, 3 more to go. Fletching 63, you know what happened. Oh my goodness, this was worth it. There is a genie right there. Lovely. I guess I'll throw it on agility now. I could save it. I would almost certainly be able to use it at a higher level next cycle, but I got a lot of stuff to do. There's a good chance I'll get another genie, so. 330 agility XP. Hold my phone off at the last second. Fletching 64, 1 more to go. Fletching 65, that took way longer than I thought. I don't think I've really been keeping track of time. I guess I could go back and watch the VOD and figure it out. But the important thing is that I can make a used short bow now. And I don't think I care about fletching for a really long time. It's going to be forever until I have enough XP bank to make a magic short bow. I have to get magic logs. I could conceivably get magic logs from KQ without having to chop them. We're also like 1 or 2 chunk rolls away from a chunk that has it. So it's probably something we want to get long term, but also probably not something I'm able to get anytime soon. I actually want to know how long that took, so let me pause the recording and check. That was almost 6 hours, and I haven't had that much AFK in a really long time. That was like all of my shooting stars combined. 205k fletching XP, right on. Let's go ahead and make this use short bow, and I gotta go spin my flax into bowstrings. I'll do that here in a second. Pretty huge upgrade. All right, spinning my first ever bowstring on the account. Probably gonna save a couple of these flax just in case. I don't remember if there's like a diary step to spin flax on a specific spinning wheel somewhere. All right, here we go. First ever U short bow. It is finished. Excellent. 6.5 hours for a plus 18 attack bonus. Still, it's pretty big. It's a big deal. The notable thing is that it narrows the gap with the mithril crossbow. Yeah, the mithril crossbow is an additional plus 19. So it's about the maple shortbow to the U shortbow again in accuracy. So I'll probably still use this for like KQ, but I should be able to get away with the U shortbow for everything else. The attack speed is very worth it. Okay, that took forever. Let's get back to PVM. Holy moly, another longbone from Giant Frogs. I think I'm also about to hit range 62. There it is. Range 62. Getting 2 steps into an easy clue, and then it's in Falador. I gotta get that Falador unlock. Some dude just showed up while I was fighting mammoths and dropped a cannon. Just, invalidating the kill I was on. It's not a big deal. I just don't understand people sometimes. Ooh, I just got a rune javelin drop from mammoths, which is a 1 in 5,000 almost without a ring of wealth. I can't really do the game of comparing it to, oh, that's like if it could have been a this, but still it's, yeah, well, it could have been a Dragonstone. That would have been a lot better. All right, I got to do it could have been a this thing. Yes, I know that's not how math works. All right, folks, I'm getting close to the end of the cycle. Left to do here, Giants Foundry, construction training, and I'm going to do Last Man Standing last, since I can't use the points from it on anything until I can unlock the rune pouch. So let's go ahead and get some smithing XP. All right, I'm all finished up at the Giants Foundry. 32k, pretty good haul. I was able to make a mithril sword and probably one more bronze sword than I usually get away with. We're getting close to the colossal sword. It is less relevant now that we have the adamant scimitar, but it's still pretty good, and it's really going to help at KQ. So as much as it pains me to not use this immediate 3500 reputation to start unlocking the smithing outfit, because that would be really good smithing XP over many cycles, and it's probably the correct play for the majority of players in this game to go for these first. I think that this is going to be pretty impactful, barring unlocking a rune scimitar or something. I might even end up using it for content other than KQ. So we're going to keep soldiering on. I think I can get there maybe in the next 10 cycles or so. We'll see. All right, I got to do construction and last man standing, so I'm going to go do last man standing first. Well, dang, I did a lot better that time. That only took me 2 games. One game gave me 3 points, the other game gave me 4 points. I don't think I'm ever going to win a game, but I can certainly get a kill at the beginning and then go hide for a few minutes, so that wasn't too bad. Construction training. Okay, I'm about to hit 52 construction, which isn't a very good level, but it does let us boost to make an oak cape rack. Yeah. Boost to make an oak cape rack. I was having trouble saying that a second ago. 53 is the exciting level, because then we can boost to make everything that I need. For now, I can make the hard stashes, I get another tool store, and I'll be able to repair all that damaged armor, which is going to be great for Giants Foundry. All right, boosting here to make my first ever cape rack, and then I am done. All right, so a little bit more XP. All right, let's summarize the chunk. Okie dokie, folks. We're done with the cycle. Let's go ahead and do our slow scroll through the goal list here. Starting to skip more gather tasks. Not really going to be bothering with potatoes. I keep doing cabbages because those are useful. But I didn't bother with the cadaver berries and red berries. I can grow those now. I didn't bother with the nettles. I did get a ton of nettles for potentially training cooking, and maybe I'll do that in the future, but I have so many nettles, I don't think I'm ever going to use any of them. Also skip the eggs because I have millions of eggs, although maybe that's one I shouldn't skip in the future. So that's our task list. Let me get the XP calculation together. I guess I'll show you the live split timer here. We're just shy of 37 hours. 25 days, 7 hours played. Here are the XP gains for the cycle. Fletching obviously was the most. I spent like 6 hours on that and basically doubled the XP we've ever had for fletching. Probably not going to touch it for a long time. Might change my mind if we get access to magic logs or something. Mining is getting pretty high up there. I was able to fully deplete and get 2 hours of AFK out of all 3 shooting stars, which makes a really big difference. So it's in line with combat and woodcutting now, and it's actually quite reasonable that we'll hit 70 within a few cycles and finally be able to do adamantite rocks, which lets us clear a couple more chunks. And, incidentally, get access to even more shooting stars. Ranged was what we focused on this time. I'm probably going to be able to switch off of ranged partway through next episode. I hate ranged. It made things go way slower. I have to pick up all the ammo because I don't have a Ava's device, and it's a lot slower than melee. My melee is really fast right now. Everything else on here, pretty standard though. I'll look at the delta here in a second. Slightly more construction XP because of the new oak cape rack. Agility's way up, of course. I guess while I'm doing this, I should show you the actual XP totals there, or levels. Agility's way up because now we have such a lower chance of a Mark of Grace spawning, and it's fantastic. It's still terrible, right? It's still way less than anything else, but it's conceivable that we could maybe get agility to 70 at some point for the quest cape, which would be swell. Right, and here's the delta. So actually, let me sort this. So again, this is the difference in XP gain between this cycle and the previous cycle. So I got way more fletching XP than normal. My total XP is up primarily due to fletching. Everything else here is pretty standard where you'd expect it to be. Okay, loot tracker. Let's go. Don't think I killed one extra goblin. It was in the chicken pen. I'll fix that next time. I think I had too many other mistakes, though. Zombies were down to make up for a mistake last cycle, so that's balanced now. Yeah, that's everybody from loot. Supplies, still including some from the group iron. Sad. Oh no. That's the problem. It's never included stuff from the group iron. This is last man standing. Ah, fuck. That fucks that whole thing up, doesn't it? And, well, rune usage is accurate. Actual ammo usage is accurate. You can ignore, like, the opal dragon bolts or the diamond bolts or the dragon arrows or whatever. That I did actually use this many of these ones, though. I wonder if I can just, like, manually turn this off during last man standing. I feel like that would reset it, though. Maybe I can do last man standing last and show you, just quickly show you the supplies tracker before I go in there. You know, it may be the smarter way to do things. Random event history. That was my random event. Got a genie. Both of these mysterious old man events were mimes, so got another genie and a dunce a little bit ways back. So yeah, it's been okay lately for random events. I'm going to try to summarize here whenever possible at the Giant's Foundry. This is my one bank chest that allows random events to spawn, so... Alright, bank overview. Sweet corn for the first time. Wines of Zamorak were from KQ, so are these sharks. Got a mithril chain body drop, finally, along with the mithril kite shield. I'm just going to hold on to it since it's a clue item. Bought a team cape. I think I actually could have bought one of these in Edgeville, but new to me, so I'll be using it for now. I got 2 Zamorak monk tops, which is really funny because it's super rare from the Elder Chaos Druids. It took me forever to get it from the normal Monk of Zamorak. Spirit Seed, I want to say, came from a Moss Giant. The Black Axe is from Black Demons. I am going to go ahead and put that in a stash at some point. My first time making unstrung maple longbows. That should be a decent amount of money. Bowstrings from Flax. The Rune Javelin was a bummer drop. Bummer rare drop, table drop. I would have happily taken a Dragonstone there. That would, if we get a Dragonstone, that would change everything. I can get my crafting high enough to be able to make a Ring of Wealth, and then we will much more realistically get stuff from the rare drop table. Got a clean Quarm from Sorceress's Garden, and the new U short bow is a pretty big upgrade. Let's look at the slow bank scroll here. Bank is looking pretty nice. Crossed 10 million value. And let's look at the change in the bank. Still coming out neutral on law runes. It's pretty cool. Threw a lot of arrows. Others, logs, yeah. All right, that's all there is to say. Let's do the chunk roll. Hey folks, it's Feature Marstead real quick. I'll get you to the chunk picker in a second, but I actually forgot to kill 2 market guards here. I think I still had them on tag all and got confused and thought I had finished them, so I'm going to deal with that right now. This is why I do the sanity check after every cycle. All right, there's my 2 market guard kills. Enjoy the chunk picker. All right, here we are at the chunk picker. We are on a dry streak right now. Good God, like kind of bad, kind of bad, kind of bad, really bad, although at least somewhat interesting. The KQ has an interesting drop table, so as much as it's annoying, this could change things if we get lucky. Kind of bad, although at least it had maple trees. Kind of bad if only we had the monastery. Really bad. Last good chunk. Today is October 22nd, so September 1st was our last good chunk. I want to do Enter the Abyss, or Into the Abyss. I want to be able to do the Runecraft minigame. I'm missing out on so much XP from not ever rolling that chunk. I want the Monastery, because then we can get into the Motherlode Mine and the Mining Guild and lots of other good stuff. I want Temporos, would be awesome. Hold of Niche would be lots of new content. It would be great to do Priest in Peril. It'd be great to get into Falador, because that also gets us into the Motherlode Mine. Great to get to Port Sarum. That unlocks a lot of content. As far as what's changed over here, all that's really different is that these two guys are rollable, and they're both rerolls. This isn't actually an accessible chunk outside of the corners of it. This basically just have trees on it. So yeah, let's go ahead and roll. I think this chunk picker has broken me. I don't expect a good chunk now. I'm probably gonna get another piece of garbage, like the Corp Beast or something. All right. No whammies. Oh. Actually, is this one a reroll? Oh, okay. All right. The exam center is the bad one. This one's a reroll because nothing actually here that's new. So we're not going to include, especially item spawns that are tied to a quest. So item spawns already don't count towards being new. Specimen jar definitely doesn't. I've always been able to build medium stashes. I can chop regular trees and oaks. Has quest progression for the exam center. This makes the exam center less bad, but it's still a skull chunk because I don't have Herblore unlocked yet, so I can't do that quest. Regular old skeletons in the dig site dungeon. Quest-related item spawns. Already mined silver rock. I actually don't know if I'm allowed to go down here without completing the dig site, but everything down here is old hat, so we'll go there and try to exhaust as much as we can. If I can't get into the dig site dungeon, I guess it doesn't matter. I can still mark the surface complete, so we could skip these trees for next time. But let me go do that before we re-roll the next chunk. I'm just going to be lazy and use a Varrock teleport. I'll add a new end of chunk bank thing there. And while I'm walking over there, I'm actually going to change this account's name to Chunk Bonfire. I know it's been Mars Bonfire the whole time, but I recently Googled that out of curiosity, and there's like a weird indie songstress. There's done a bunch of like cover songs with like 600 views on YouTube. So just to not, I mean, my YouTube handle is Marstead, right? I can't fit Marstead Bonfire, and Bonfire Man is taken. So let's just go ahead and get out from under that. It can be Chunk Bonfire. All right, here we are at the chunk boundary. Let's go ahead and cross the threshold. And I should not have brought this log, because I will not be lighting a bonfire. I'm just here to do the exhaustible tasks. Let me go ahead and add them to my tracker. But I did forget to bring things to build the medium stash, so I'm going to roll back and grab those real quick. Yeah, okay. Dig site dungeon's only accessible after the quest, so these are blocked, but it's fine because I've killed skeletons before and mined silver before, so this is still a reroll chunk. Let's go ahead and build the stash here. Excellent. And I'm going to start working on the trees, and I got to pick everything up too. Got the specimen jar. Not be using that for a long time, unless if we unlock Herblore magically. So amusingly, I can't actually complete the chunk because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 trees over here that I can't get to. I think I need to actually have 2 more chunks to get there, and I don't believe I can get there from the north. Yeah. So it's still a reroll because it's nothing that we haven't done before, but I am going to have to add the couple trees that I can get to, and I guess I'm not going to be able to deplete the oak tree on future cycles. In this week's edition of content probably no one has ever done before, has anyone chopped this oak tree over here? I mean, I guess it's close to the dig site pendant teleport, but actually really close to the dig site pendant teleport. I doubt that's a thing, though. I doubt anyone actually does that. And this is the last tree I can get to. So that's as far as we're going to be able to take it. I did pick up all the bones. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bones in the specimen jar. And I was only able to chop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the 14 trees. So I'll make a little note there that that's what I can get to. Okay, that's all we can do at the dig site. Let's go back to the chunk picker. Right, so no changes to the chunk picker because we can't actually get here. We can't even get to this part of it, but even then I wouldn't make this rollable since it's really Mauritania that we're talking about. And we'll go ahead and clear this guy. All right, come on, game. There's a lot of interesting chunks on this board. There's a lot of even just regular thumbs up chunks on this board. They don't have to be one of the ones I really want, so let's go. This might be finally passing 10%. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Wait. No, that's a reroll. It's not the one I want. There's thugs there. I guess I can now smoothly get to the Ferox Enclave, which is... All right, well, gotta go do that now. Let me add that to the list. 1 second. Yeah, all that's there is there's 9 thugs and like 57 trees. I'm gonna have to chop really quick, but I will be able to complete this one, which is nice. Then I won't have to chop 57 trees in the future. Okie dokie, folks. We're at the edge. Let's go ahead and cross the fog wall. Here we go. Okay, not lighting a bonfire. We got to kill 9 thugs and chop these trees. And I got a new music track unlocked. That's cool. This is a celebration-worthy chunk. This is our... We have now unlocked 10% of RuneScape. Officially. That's taken us 608 hours. So if we assume that it takes the exact same amount of time to unlock the other 90% of chunks in the game, which it won't because the amount of time it takes me to clear it gets longer and longer over time. But if we were to assume that, that would mean that it would take about 6,080 hours to get all chunks, which is around my estimate, right? I'm estimating somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000. I'm hoping that rules like getting 99 wood cutting lets me skip all trees. That's going to be a pretty important rule for this to be doable. And also just, you know, it's getting easier and easier to complete chunks, right? Like, I feel like I probably couldn't have called the dig site complete if I hadn't already mined silver or killed skeletons, but I've done that in other chunks. So each time we get access to content like this, we're lucky with thugs because we've actually already been able to kill them in the Edgeville dungeon. If I had rolled this chunk natively before Edgeville dungeon, we would have to say, thugs are new, and lit a bonfire here. It's so funny noticing the content that's older versus newer. Like, as soon as you cross this chunk boundary, all of these trees cease to be choppable, right? These thugs actually have an okay drop table. The iron battle axe is nice for Giant's Foundry. Interrupt me while I was chopping. The iron bar is cool. The iron ore is cool. The coal is cool. But, again, they're nothing new. We've fought them a bunch of times in the Edgeville dungeon. Oh, I thought I had another tree left, but no, I'm all done. This is a total of 57 trees chopped. This is 18 because it includes the previous cycle, so 9 plus 9 thugs. We are all done. The center wildy ditch is complete. I'm gonna head over to Ferox Enclave and roll another chunk here. All right, we're back in the chunk picker. No changes because this was a totally internal chunk. Wish it had been this one. I've had this one on the board for a long time, and I keep rolling other useless wilderness ditch chunks. All right, yeah, here we go. Come on. Something good. Begging you, game. Okay, that is something good. About time. Temporas. Hell yes. So what this boils down to is I get to do it once. And I can now do it once per cycle from now on. So the short version is I get to get 1 KC. I guess the long version is that I have to be able to get a clear. So if for whatever reason the group I'm with fails, I get to go back in and try again. And then while I'm in there, I can do any activities I want. You know, I'm not like limited on the number of fishing nodes I can touch. I just have to try to get a KC against it. So probably going forward, I'm going to want to do this solo. And in fact, maybe I should exclusively do it solo because that's potentially way more rewards. I have done solo Temporas before. I did it a bit in Leagues 3 and a bit on my main, but I've mostly done masses because they're way more, you know, it's just faster and lower brain power. So I might have to either practice a solo on my main or just do it, and every time I fail, I get to keep trying until I win. That's probably more interesting rather than, you know, waste a bunch of time practicing on another account. I guess that potentially gets me more XP because you do get a little bit of XP from being in the minigame I guess the point is I just can't abuse that. I can't intentionally fail Temporas over and over to get an infinite amount of fishing and cooking XP. But this is cool. I am very happy to have finally rolled this guy. That'll be exciting. There's a lot of exciting things we can get from the Temporas reward pool. Looking at the reward pool, there's the uniques, obviously, which I'm not going to count on happening. There's stuff like the Dragon Harpoon, which is super rare. I don't have 61 fishing to use that yet, but I think it has... Oh, it's a 5-tick weapon. It's not very good. That would be nice, though, to get the +3 fishing boost. We could get a Rune Full Helm as an upgrade, a Rune Chain Body as an upgrade, a Rune Kite Shield as an upgrade. Those all drop from the reward pool casket. Unfortunately, the jewelry drops are all stuff we can already make. It would have been amazing if it had a chance to drop a diamond amulet, but it does not. It only has necklaces and rings. It can drop uncut dragonstone, which would be massive for the account. It's a pretty rare drop. It's like 1 in 230 or something. It can drop jade somewhat reasonably, which would be a pretty big deal because I only get jade from ham guards right now, and I destroy them most of the time. But yeah, I think it could be pretty impactful overall. I think the spirit flakes are also something I'm actively going to want to use as much of as humanly possible. Double catch, right? Yeah, those are way more impactful for me than they are for a typical account. And of course, the dream would be the Tome of Water. That would potentially be huge, but because if we could get the Tome of Water and use an air staff, that would rule. But I'm not gonna count on it. I'm not gonna plan on that. I have never seen a Tome of Water drop on any of my accounts so far. Okay, well, I think that's everything. Thanks for watching, folks. Next episode, we're gonna have another boss fight. Our first, well, I guess count KQ as a real boss fight, but we'll definitely be able to do this pretty easily every cycle. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.